There's no greater calling than service, especially when it asks for the greatest sacrifice. Exactly 1 month ago, well beyond these walls and even beyond our nation's borders, Iowa suffered a different kind of loss, one that reached into every home in every small town and city neighborhood and into the very heart of who we are. On December 13th, 2025, a lone gunman with ties to ISIS opened fire on American troops in Syria. 2 of those killed and 3 wounded were Iowans. Our fallen soldiers served their state and their country with honor. As respected leaders, they were models of courage, commitment, and character. And as Americans who answered the call when freedom required it, they showed us the greatest love a person can give by laying down their life for their friends. Staff Sergeant William Nathaniel Howard of Marshalltown had always dreamed of becoming a soldier. He joined the Iowa National Guard at age 17 and served more than 11 years. He stood out not just for his dedication to the mission, but also to his brother and sisters in arms. Above all, Staff Sergeant Howard, Nate, to his family and friends, was a loyal son and brother and a loving husband. He cherished those closest to him with tenderness, humor, and a sincere heart. Staff Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar of Des Moines was the pride of his parents and a role model to his siblings. He was certain that his purpose in life was to serve his country, and he enlisted in the United States Army after graduating from high school. He was the first in his family to wear the uniform, and in the words of his father, Hugo, he was their hero, and now he's a hero to all of us. Iowans watched with heavy hearts as our fallen made their journey home, and Iowans were with them every step of the way. They were escorted from the Middle East by Iowa Guard soldiers and airmen, including Staff Sergeant Howard's own brother, Staff Sergeant James Rolsgaard, who served on the same deployment. When they arrived at Dover Air Force Base, another group of Iowans was waiting, the 185th Air Refueling Wing Mortuary Affairs Team, ready to care for their own with dignity and honor. When I reflect on the evil that robbed our state of 2 exceptional young men and wounded 3 others, I'm aware that there are no words can right the wrongs of their deaths or make up for the loss of their loved ones. But know this, their service lives on in the families they cherished, in the communities they strengthened, and in the freedoms they helped preserve. This evening, the Torres Tovar family is with their church community, observing the 30th day since their son's death with a special memorial service. They send their heartfelt gratitude to Iowans for their prayers and support. Staff Sergeant Howard's wife, parents, and brother are with us tonight. And I want you to know that you remain in our prayers, and we will never forget Nate's sacrifice. Tonight, we don't remember our fallen soldiers only in sorrow, but in gratitude. We don't speak their names only in grief, but in honor. And we don't pause simply to mourn, but to celebrate their lives and give thanks for the gift they've given all us. Please join me in honoring Staff Sergeant Howard, Staff Sergeant Torres Tovar, and their families with the applause of a free and grateful people. As we mourn and honor those we've lost, we haven't forgotten our 3 wounded warriors who answered the same call to duty that day. One soldier was treated for minor injuries and returned to his unit where he remains to complete this mission. The other 2 soldiers were seriously injured and in their most critical moments were cared for by fellow Iowans. Airmen from the 185th Air Refueling Wing Medical Group, based out of Sioux City and deployed in the Middle East, took charge of the soldiers' treatment and evacuation. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Niles shared that the wounded were reassured, knowing that it was fellow Iowa Guardsmen caring for them, praying with them, and standing beside them. Days later, they transferred our 2 wounded soldiers to Germany for stabilization, and then home to the United States to continue their recovery with their families. Iowans taking care of Iowans, all in the service of their country, and our state could not be prouder. And tonight, I am pleased to share some good news. Both soldiers have been discharged from the hospital and are now being treated in an outpatient facility, and both are doing extremely well and improving every single day. And I think I speak for everyone here tonight when I say, we can't wait to welcome you home. As I've declared